Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Shruti Mishra and with me is Arundhati Ramanan. These are the top headlines from the startup space. Byju's completes consolidation of businesses and will file its pending financial results in June. Response comes after the Ken reported that Byju's is yet to file its financial statements for FY21 and FY22 as auditor Deloitte is hesitant to put its signature due to concerns around refunds, loan guarantees and unusual revenue recognition practices.
SHIPROCKET to acquire majority stake in its competitor e-commerce platform PICKRR for about $200 million in a mix of cash and equity. Deal is aimed at enhancing e-commerce enablement in India.
B2B manufacturing and supply chain enablement startup Groyo bags $40 million in a combination of equity and debt from Tiger Global and AlphaWave Global. Groyo to use the funds to scale its team in India, Bangladesh, US and the European Union.
Global Apps, a no-code mobile app platform, raises $8.5 million led by Elevation Capital and Bessemer Venture Partners. Fundraise also saw participation from Better Capital. The fresh capital will be used for expansion in North America, tech innovation and new products.
China's internet search engine giant Baidu in talks to sell its controlling stake in iQIYI, China's answer to Netflix, in a deal that could value all of iQIYI at about $7 billion, sources tell Reuters. Baidu plans to sell all its holdings in the Chinese video streaming services firm.
The sell-off across cryptocurrencies continues, with the Bitcoin falling close to $20,000. Bill Gates blasts cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens, saying they are 100% based on the greater fool theory.
Those are the headlines we are tracking for you this evening. On What's Brewing today, tech-enabled shipping and fulfillment platform ShipRocket has acquired a majority stake in PICKRR, an e-commerce SaaS platform for D2C brands and SME e-tailers. Now, the deal value is estimated at $200 million, comprising cash, stock and earnout. This is ShipRocket's fifth acquisition in this year alone and will help ShipRocket strengthen its position as a leading D2C enablement operating system. To elaborate on the acquisition and the road ahead for the combined entity, joining me now are Sahil Goel, co-founder and CEO of ShipRocket, and Gaurav Mangla, the co-founder of PICKRR. Gentlemen, welcome to Startup Street. Sahil, let me start with you. ShipRocket and PICKRR, both platforms have built robust technology stacks and both operate in the same sector. So what complementary value propositions did you see, Sahil? What made you acquire PICKRR? And I believe it's an 80% stake, but can you confirm that?
Thanks, and thanks for having Gaurav and I on the show. So I think both PICKRR and ShipRocket both have been, working in this segment for a while. And when it comes to direct commerce in India, it's a very, very large market. Today, if Indian e-commerce is about $70 to $80 billion in total, direct commerce is easily between, $15 and $20 billion from that. And 5 to 6 years ago, this number was less than $1 billion. So it is growing very, very rapidly. And what's happening as a result is, a lot of the needs that the retailers in this segment have are being unmet. And while there is, demand generation platforms like Facebook, there are shopping cart platforms like Shopify helping bring the consumers till the point of checkout, really the post-purchase journey is completely blank. So our, vision, and so is Gaurav's vision, was to build an operating system where we can plug in providers, we can bring in more technology, and we can make it accessible to everybody at large. PICKRR had been focusing on the larger merchant segment for a while, and they've done a phenomenal job at that. All of the processes, people, technology has been focused on enabling larger merchants, while ShipRocket focused very heavily on the SMB. So that complementarity was an obvious one, where it allows us to be able to reach out to a larger segment of the market.
And is it an 80% stake, Sahil?
It's signed to be 100%. It's just logistical, where it's a matter of a few quarters, but we've signed to acquire 100% of the company.
All right, so a matter of few quarters and it'll be 100% acquisition. Sahil, also I believe this acquisition has provided an exit to PICKRR's investors. Will PICKRR run as an independent company? Also, what happens to the PICKRR team?
Yes, so the deal has provided exits in cash to all of PICKRR's investors. Gaurav, Ankit and Ridhiman continue at the helm of PICKRR as a separate organization. They continue building as they've been doing in the past. We just align better as a company, as two companies, and try to make the most of our strengths. And the PICKRR team continues along with the founders at PICKRR as they've done in the past.
Okay,
so no change.
No change there. Coming to you, Gaurav, now. Tell me, do you and your co-founders get a stake in SHIPROCKET, and what changes for Picker with this acquisition?
Yeah, and thanks, Shruti, for hosting me, and along with Sahil. As Sahil mentioned, nothing much changes for Picker. We were very heavily focused on the enterprise segment, and SHIPROCKET had expertise in the long tail segment. So we'll continue to build our products. We'll try to maximize our wallet share, as well as like Sahil was mentioning, the D2C market is growing exponentially in past 2-3 years, especially after COVID. So our target in the combined entities that today it comprises only 20% of the overall e-commerce market. And in next 3 to 4 years, this number should go to 40 to 43%. And regarding us, yes, we are getting some cash and some equity in SHIPROCKET, which is sizable enough.
Okay, Gaurav, a sizable enough chunk. Gaurav, given both SHIPROCKET and Picker process billions of data points every month, the combination also allows you to, merge the intelligence around 3PL performance and consumer behavior. So what customer segments will this be beneficial for, and how will it help retailers better their operational performance?
See, it will be beneficial for any customer segment. Anyone who wants to sell outside of horizontals, anyone who wants to grow in the D2C e-commerce, or any offline brands who want to reach to consumers directly. It's beneficial for everyone. So this is the aim of this entity, that we should serve everyone, we should diversify our client base, and we should ensure that e-commerce enablement happens faster and better.
Okay. All right, coming back to you, Sahil, if you could talk to me about your plans of building an operating system for direct commerce, because that's the big plan. What will it offer, and how will it help your retailers?
So I think, as I said earlier, this problem of the post-purchase is so complex that it is not possible for a single player to solve it. This has to be solved by coming together of the entire ecosystem, whether we are talking about carriers, logistics partners, warehousing partners, local, hyperlocal partners on the shipping and logistics side. If we talk about fintech, insurance, lending, we talk about payments, we talk about shopping carts, and then there's a long list, right? Because if you think about all of the things that need to be done in this post-purchase part of the experience, you need all these providers, you need the software and the operating sort of workflow, and you need the ability to close the transaction.
Sure.
And to a great degree, Picker and SHIPROCKET already do this today.
Yes.
The thing that we are now trying to focus on heavily is to be able to build it out truly as an OS, where we make it more open, more unbundled, and let almost anybody, any provider plug into it, any app builder plug into it, and any merchant plug into it to be able to really avail of what's already out there.
Okay. All right. Sahil, one more question. SHIPROCKET has been on an acquisition spree this year. You've acquired 4, majority stakes in 4 other brands. This is your 5th acquisition, but I believe you're also in the final stages of acquiring ShipLite's India business. How soon do you hope to close that? And, if the deal goes through, ShipLite would be SHIPROCKET's 6th acquisition in 2022 alone.
So ShipLite is actually not an acquisition, and we have not publicly announced it yet. It is more of a commercial arrangement with the ShipLite team, where they continue to operate their global business, and they wanted us to help them run their India business because it was a small component of their overall business. That's about it. Okay. So ShipLite is really an acquisition.
All right. So it won't be an acquisition, but is inorganic growth the way forward for you? Sahil, you've been growing 3x year on year. What has led to this growth, and will inorganic growth, will that be your play?
See, I'll be honest. The growth in the business is not due to the inorganic activity. The inorganic activity is a way to build faster, right? The growth is in transactions, and the transactions are growing because the market is growing, and because we are already, becoming a default way for people to plug us in to be able to manage this post-purchase experience in a better way. So that's the reason for the growth. The inorganic is a way to build parts of the stack so that, if we were going to take, let's say, a longer time to build something, and there is a way to partner and, bring somebody in to help us accelerate that.
Sure.
That is the limited thinking behind going after that.
All right, Sahil and Gaurav, many thanks for joining us. We've completely run out of time. Wish you both the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Shruti. Thanks for having us.
On that note, it is time for us to head into a short break. But coming up next, the CEO of Freshworks, Girish Mathrubootham, does not see any company going public in current market conditions. The man heading the first SaaS company to list on the NASDAQ says Freshworks is well capitalized to power through the current crisis. That exclusive conversation on the other side.